Waldo is now live streaming Just Chatting. Republicans do not respect your rights. Come feel the headlines with me. Waldo is now live streaming Just Chatting. Toss any links to stories into the Discord. https discord gg benyay tridix 8 N. We have one more slot for Chanel emotes. I hate the work D channel, I always spell it wrong somehow.
Oh, hi. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How's it
Gotta
going?
watch over here, Twitch's ads are absolutely unbearable.
Are they that bad? Okay, that's fine. You do whatever you need to, KVP. But yeah, if I got more followers on the old kick, I think they start running ads as well. Um, their ads are probably cooler though. You know, they're a more indie platform, so they'll be like ads for um, sexier ads for smoking and beer and gambling websites and stuff like that. So that might be more fun to watch. But honestly, I don't think I've picked up a new kick follower in a very long time. I've been sitting at like 25 for a very long time. I'm not entirely sure why, um, but that's all right. I don't mind. How's everybody doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I've got a handful of links. I've got um, probably a video game to play later while I talk about my latest cockamamie crazy ass idea, and you can shoot holes in it. I think what I'll do is towards the after we go through all the politics and all the headlines and stuff like that, I will hop over to the video game, and then I'll just tell you my goofy plan. If you're a long-term viewer, long-time viewer, you've heard it already. But my plan for the border and the housing situation, I think we can solve both problems at the same time. I think the border situation can be solved with the housing crisis problem solved at the same time. Bam, everything gets better, everything gets wonderful, and we'll do that towards the end of the stream. So tonight, I think I've just got a handful of random headlines that have popped up over the past couple of days, and we'll look at them. We'll take a look. We'll see how they're going. You can tell me how you're feeling. And if you're watching, if you're paying attention, hit the like buttons, hit the subscribe buttons, hit the thumbs up buttons. It will absolutely make you happier. And if you can prove that it didn't, I will refund you the price that it costs to click the thumbs up button, which is free. So nothing lost, really, for either one of us. um, so that is my pitch for you tonight. Let's do the first little thing. I'm going to leave the Canooch up unless she starts to interrupt me in my amazing, well thought out takes. Feel free to chime in and chat all you want. Uh, let's get started with this one here, webcam screen. Then I go to the window. Oh, I had game capture on. Turn that off. Turn on the window capture. And we go right here. What do we got? We've got Tom Cotton. He is an Arizona or no, Arkansas. Sorry. He's an Arkansas Republican who doesn't care for your rights. He doesn't care if you have them. If you didn't vote for him, do you really even have rights? You don't deserve them. You probably shouldn't have them. For this is from Tom Cotton. I encourage people who get stuck behind pro-Hamas mobs blocking traffic, take matters into your own hands and get them out of the way. It's time to put an end to this nonsense. The nonsense he's describing is protests. It's time, according to Tom Cotton of Arkansas, to put an end to protests. You know, Tom, we have like an entire amendment about those. It's kind of a thing that we like. Um, you might even suggest that not only do we like it, we think that you should absolutely be allowed to do that. And so much so that we have suggested that it be a right. We've got it in, I mean, we wrote it down, you know? We put it in the law books as a thing you should be rightfully allowed to do, and the government can't prevent you from doing so. Tom Cotton's not on board for that. He does not like that First Amendment, especially if you didn't vote for him. I really do suspect that Tom Cotton would fight for the First Amendment rights of the people who vote Republican. Probably not going to do it for anybody else. And that's what I think. If he, and I'm sure we can find some wonderful quotes from him about Jan 6 being a peaceful demonstration. And you shouldn't hold people responsible for that. But you should absolutely take away the rights of the people who are blocking traffic. Those people blocking traffic didn't vote Republican, hence they shouldn't have First Amendment rights. It's a pretty great system this guy's on board for. If you didn't vote for a Republican, then they don't want you to have your First Amendment rights. That's it. We've got their entire ideology boiled down to that little snippet, that little soundbite. If you didn't vote for a Republican, they don't want you to have First Amendment rights. They don't. Here is, and it's not just the one thing. I've got another one. Here we go. Let's look at the other thing that he posted, which is, again, from same guy. This is how it should be done. Right here. I'm going to turn the audio off on this one because they're not speaking English. So, Tom Cotton loves this. He saw this right here, which is protesters peacefully, quietly, well, probably not quietly, but peacefully protesting, and he applauds and cheers on the not law enforcement person who is handling them, putting his hands on them, kicking them, dragging them across the ground. He likes this. This is what he wants for you. This is what Tom Cotton, Republican of Arkansas, wants for your country. He will take your First Amendment rights away unless you voted for him, in which case he will defend them to the death. He will break all the laws in the world to defend a Jan 6 person, protester. But if you are protesting for a thing he doesn't like, you don't get rights. You see the difference? There's a big difference here. Is that the Jan 6 protesters who illegally broke into, stormed, and tried to take over the government were doing that for non-political means or non-political reasons, according to him, according to Tom Cotton. He would tell you that that's not political, that this protester here being dragged is being political, and breaking the government to benefit Donald Trump is not political. It's just common sense, according to him. Anyway, how it should be done. This is what he wants for you. This is what he wants for your First Amendment rights, because he doesn't respect it. He doesn't respect it. He doesn't respect the Constitution. He's anti-constitutional. He doesn't want people who disagree with him to get protection by the Constitution. I'm going to say that again so I can turn it into a short. Tom Cotton doesn't want people who disagree with him politically to have rights. He doesn't want them to have First Amendment rights. He will work in Congress and in law to take those rights away from the people who disagree with him politically. But he still gets to be a Republican. You know, why haven't they kicked him out? Why would you ever allow someone like that into your party? So, if a Democrat said that, they would be drummed out. They would. They absolutely would. I have no doubt that a middle America uh, senator said that on the Dem side, they would get rid of him. They would face uh, they might not kick him out of office. I mean, what's his name? Who's that guy? The comedian Al Franken. Al Franken got kicked out of the Senate as a senator for a half-assed dirty joke he made 10 years earlier when it came up in the news. They tossed him out. I think it was Katie Hill, brand new freshman House member, had revenge porn leaked of her by her very bitter, angry ex ex fiance, and so when in his bitterness, he released photos of her smoking weed and naked and drinking, and all of those things were legal. You were allowed to smoke weed where she was, and you were allowed to drink where she was, and you were allowed to be naked where she was. And they kicked her out after being the victim of revenge porn. They kicked her out. If a Democrat had done something so blatantly, obviously unconstitutional as the things that Tom Cotton is saying, they would be kicked out because they're a better party. I complain about the Dems all the time, but they're far more intellectually stable than the Republicans. They really are. They have more principles. The Republicans have no principles. They have no guide rails. They have no ethics. They have no uh, ethos. They've got no idea. They don't have a platform, honestly, anymore. Just the things we don't like. There's just a list of things they don't like. The Republican platform is now just a list of things they don't like. And then they call those things woke, and they point at the list, and they call it the woke list, and they yell about it, and then they demand to be voted for. And then they go on Fox News and demand that somebody votes for them. It's not a system that can work, honestly. I think we are headed for some very complicated and difficult times in the political future. And I think that the problem we're having isn't the problem of conservatism. It isn't the problem of conservatives. It is the problem of them being uh, disingenuous with their language, disingenuous with what they want. If they tell you what they want and you can understand it, then you can work together. You can work, hopefully, to determine what works, what doesn't, what harms people's freedom, what harms people's rights, how to move forward, how to get a better plan in place. But you can't do that if they're lying about what they want. And that's what I think Tom Cotton's doing here. He's lying about what he wants. What he wants is Democrats to lose their First Amendment and Republicans to have a First Amendment that protects them against everything, anything, all the time, everywhere, forever. He wants two different sets of laws. He wants a set of laws for the people he doesn't like, where they're harmed by the law, and a set of laws for the people he does like, where it protects them and keeps them safe. That is what Tom Cotton wants. It's what he wants for you. It's what he wants for me. So the question you have to ask yourself, are you on the list of people he likes?
A.
Drama Llama. That's right. Shinzinto. Are you on the list of people he likes? I'm not. Are you? I guess that's the important question. Are you on the list of people that he likes, the approved Tom Cotton list, the thumbs up, sure do like that guy list? Um, I am definitely not. So if you are also not, then if he's in charge, if Donald Trump wins, if he gets to be in charge of the Senate, and if they take the House and the Senate, they will create a two-tiered justice system, just like they complain about all the time. They're full of shit. There is already a two-tiered justice system, but it's for rich and poor. Poor people face the laws and the responsibility and get punished for breaking those laws, but the rich don't, or it's a monetary fine that they have to pay, and that monetary fine they just pay. and their followers give them more money. So there is a two-tiered justice system right now, but it's rich and poor. I don't want a four-tier justice system, which would make it a cube almost. It would be a cross section, I suppose, section, justice system, where you're rich uh, and right wing, which means the law never harms you. Or you can be rich and left wing when the law does apply to you sometimes. And then you can be rich and no, you'd be poor and right wing when it does affect you, and you can be poor and left wing when you get double fines and double pain and dream or something like that. Ah, F's in chat. I think OBS just collapsed. Let's see.
F.
F's for fun. F's for fun. All right, let me bring up this thing. Are you guys seeing me right now? OBS just gave me a wacky signal.
Twitch is choppy for me.
Twitch is choppy. Okay. Let me look at my feeds over here. It looks like YouTube's up. Kick. Are you working, Kick? F5 over here. Kick looks okay.
Same.
Yeah, Twitch is being choppy. That's too bad. And Twitch is up. Okay, let me change some of my stuff
It's not
here.
looking great for me, choppy.
Okay, well, let's blame Joe Brandon. I think we can safely blame Joe Biden for this one, folks. Let's do a. Let me see if I can change some of these things. No, that's about as low as I can get it, because I'm lowering my stuff here so it doesn't go wrong. Okay. What if I just hold real still?
All streams are choppy, thank Obama.
Did that work? Did that help? Uh, I don't think it's my internet because it's usually pretty good. I mean, it's the same computer, same internet, same setup that I had last time, right? Wow, yeah, dropped frames. Oh, wow. OBS is just being a shit tonight. Oh, that's dropping more frames. OBS, how dare you? I updated it today, didn't I? Yeah, I did. That's the problem. I shouldn't have updated it. I loaded it up today to look at the overlay. You know this one? Not this one. I loaded them up to look at that overlay. Um, and then OBS told me that it had an update, and I was like, yeah, of course I want the update. And so I did the update, and now this is what it's giving me. Thanks, OBS. This is what I get for updating you. Why would I update you if you only make it worse? Ugh, dang thing. Okay. Well, that sucks. But what else we got to talk about in the news tonight? If there's any news story you want to talk about, tell us about it in chat or toss it into the Discord. You can go into the Discord any old time and send us a link to a story.
https discord gg beignet tridix 8.
And we will talk about whatever political thing you put in there. I mean, and if it's a conspiracy theory, I might look at it and tell you it's a conspiracy theory, which happened the one time that the person really came in and said, "Hey, here's what's going on," and I was like, "Oh, Bilderbergs, there they are, Rockefellers, gotcha, found them, nailed it." So that is the plan. Let's look at the next story up. What is next? Get out of here, Tom Cotton. We've had enough of you. Hey, keeping in that same theme of Republicans not liking your rights. Lawmakers vote against hearing the Arizona bill repealing abortion ban on House floor. So this is a poorly written. These headlines get worse every time. This is CNN. Do you think this is a? What side do you think they landed on? This is a very poorly written headline. CNN. Lawmakers vote against hearing Arizona bill repealing abortion ban on House floor. It's still in place. They needed to do the hearing to get rid of the ban, but they have not done that, which means the ban stands. Poorly written headline, and honestly, I found a sentence in here that's almost just as bad. This is why the normies don't pay attention. Honestly, listen, CNN, come on. This is why the normies don't pay attention. This is why the normies don't follow the news. This is why the normies don't vote. It's because your shitty headlines are written in such a passive voice that you have to spin it's almost like corporate speak. It's passive voice, it's corporate speak, it's spun in such a way that I don't know I watch politics every day, and I don't know what the hell you're telling me, CNN. I don't. So let's look at it though. It's the Republican-controlled Arizona House of Representatives once again failed to advance a repeal on the state's 160-year-old abortion ban Wednesday, days after the Supreme Court roiled state politics by reviving the law. The vote is a blow to reproductive rights. See, it takes second paragraph before they explain to you what the problem is. It is a blow to reproductive rights, as well as GOP candidates in competitive races who have been scrambling to distance themselves from the court's decision, including Kari Lake and uh, Donald Trump. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. This is my favorite sentence. State lawmakers last week ended a House session early to block an effort to repeal the abortion ban. Like, I don't know. It's such a dizzy sentence. They ended the House session early to block an effort to repeal the abortion ban. It's a quintuple negative or something like that. It's very hard to follow. Uh, anyway, the point is, they, being the Republicans, put Republican judges in charge. So the people voted for Republicans in Arizona. They did. Those Republican representatives then put judges on the bench. Those judges hold Republican ideals and appreciate conservative values. They, because Roe versus Wade got canceled, said, okay, well, we're going to go backward to the year 1864. They put the car in R. They slammed on the gas. They went all the way back to 1864. And they said, this is the law now. Before we were a state, before any of us were ever born, it was written during the Civil War. That's the law now. And if you want to change it, you got to change it. Republican legislature. The Republican legislature said, oh my God, this is terrible. Donald Trump said it's terrible. Kari Lake said it's terrible. A bunch of Republican people on TV said it was terrible. Fox News said it was terrible. And then they did nothing. They did nothing to change it. I sure do hate this. End. The end. There's no step two. Yeah, it sure does suck. Okay. Mr. Republican lawmaker, can you make it suck less? He could, but then he'd have to vote for stuff and he'd have to pass legislation. And that's just gross. Like, why would you expect a legislature to pass legislation? That is insane. Why would you do such a thing? They aren't, they're trying to have the cake and eat it too. They're trying to do the both sides thing. Hey, we sure do hate this law. Oh my gosh, who took your rights away? Some judge that we appointed and does what we tell him to do and really appreciates us and votes for us took your rights away. Well, that sucks. Ah, nothing I can do though. I'm just in charge of the entire
That
legislature.
would require them to have a plan or goals other than chaos.
I think this is part of I think the chaos is hiding their actual goal here. I don't think they want to create chaos with this one. They want abortions to be gone. None and done. That's what they want. They want those things to be gone. Done with, never talked about, finito. They want it to be done. They don't want they're using the chaos to accomplish that. And they're using the chaos in this situation to cover up their actual goals. They're using the chaos to cover the goals. So yes, they are creating chaos and they're covering the goals up. Hey, they don't want abortions, but that's not nobody votes for that. They're take that back. The hard right lunatics vote for that. Regular people don't vote for that. The left doesn't vote for that. The center doesn't vote for that, and the moderate right doesn't like it, but they won't vote to get rid of it. You know, the vast majority of people are against the Republican goals. So they put a bunch of chaos in front of the screen so that you can't see what the goal is. You can't find it. You can't see it. You can't look at it. It's gone invisible. You know, and because they've hidden it behind the chaos, they can cry and complain and say, oh, this is so terrible, and then go on Twitter, and their fans will see that they don't like it and then follow them some more and keep following them. Might be crashing again. Damn, it's just not going very well tonight. Yeah, it's stuttering again. Damn thing, come on. All right, all right. I'm just gonna trudge on so I can maybe turn this into a YouTube video later. I appreciate you if you're watching. If you're watching, thank you. I appreciate it. Type something in the chat, and press the follow buttons, press the subscribe buttons, press the thumbs up buttons, so that more people can come in here and hang out with you and me.
Rip.
Yeah, I know. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. I don't know why it's being crazy tonight. Um, all right, I'm going to. Gosh, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to hit the add button because I have 4 minutes until my next thing. I'm just going to hit it right now so it gets out of the way. But if you're here and if you're watching and stuff like that, if you're a follower or if you're on Kick, you don't have to see it.
Toss the link into Discord.
Tossed a
Not
link
like
into
this.
Discord. Well, she actually says not like this. Interesting. Okay. Some of them she'll read out loud. Interesting. I kind of like that. Yeah, Shinsuto, I've got that one as well. It's been a real crazy, choppy stream tonight. I'm not entirely sure why. Does it sound okay to you guys? Does it sound real bad? Because I'm watching my monitoring screen and it is 1 frame every 5 seconds or something like that. Not sure why it's being such a jerk tonight. All right, that should be the end of the ad thingy. Okay, let's go bring up the next story. Next story up is dun dun dun. The House Republicans send Mayorkas impeachment articles to the Senate, forcing a trial. Oh my God, this is going to be such a big deal. Maytag finally got this guy impeached. Oops, Senate rejects impeachment articles against Mayorkas, ending trial against cabinet secretary. It's
Alt-right
over.
attack. The sounds is generally fine.
The sounds are fine, but the video isn't. Interesting. Okay. Huh. I wonder what will cause that. Anyway, the Senate rejected the impeachment articles. Yeah, because they did. Of course they did. Because Maytag, listen, honey, there's this thing called arithmetic.
The ads came in crystal clear.
Oh, well, that's good. Long as we make that money, baby. There's a thing called arithmetic where you determine how many votes you have. You count them. Then you count how many votes you're likely to have when you bring the thing from the House to the Senate. And if you don't have enough, it doesn't pass. And if it doesn't pass, you look stupid. Maytag, you look stupid. Because then we would suspect that you can't do the basic arithmetic. I don't think Maytag can do basic arithmetic. She has... She just did a stunt, you know what I mean? She did a stunt. That's what it was. So that's how I would suggest what she did. She did a stunt because her followers don't know the difference between an actual impeachment and an accusation of impeachment. They don't know. They don't care.
Started with arithmetic, you've already lost her.
Right. She's not a big fan of all those numbers. She doesn't know that. Well, I mean, I assume that somebody told her. She's got to have at least one friend up there, right? Uh, maybe she doesn't have any friends on the Hill, but some people voted along with her. So at some point they had to have told her, hey, this isn't going to go through the Senate. It's not going to work. And she went through with it anyway because she's stupid. And she needs to do stunts. Because if you're not doing stunts in the current Republican Party, you're dead. You're gone. Nobody knows you. It's almost, I keep saying it, but they want to be live streamers. They want to look into the camera and talk about their feelings with an audience. And I can appreciate that. But
Turn the
guess what?
friggin' frogs gay.
Malcidian just subscribed. You turned the friggin' frogs gay. Good job, Malcidian. Hope you're happy. Hope you're proud of yourself. You turned a frog gay. Uh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, so she wants to be a live streamer, but she's gone a really weird way of doing it by going to the House of Representatives first. She was all over the socials before she was a representative. She was on the Twitter. She was on the TV shows. She chased Nancy Pelosi around the house with a camera. She wants to be famous. She wants to be a live streamer talking about the important things that she thinks is important, and I can be okay with that. But I'd rather her do that. Then we can all laugh at her. We can all go into her live chat. We can go into her chat and troll her, and we can put funny memes and frog pictures in in the stuff. We can put a little pog champs in there. You know, it'd be great, and everyone would love it. We would have a good time. But instead, she gets to make laws. She gets to make legislation that affects you. I don't mind her being a clown. I don't mind her being a clown on TV. I don't mind her being a clown on Twitch. There are lots of them, including me. But I do mind the fact that she gets to vote on legislation that could have an effect on real people's lives. That's not okay with me. If you're going to be making decisions like that, you need to not be a clown. You need to be serious. You need to understand what's going on with the world. You need to do basic arithmetic, and you need to follow the rules, follow the laws, and make the country better, not just do stunts that get your likes up, that get your numbers up, that get more people following you and cheering for you on 4chan. That's all I ask of the government is to be better than the absolute clowns that they are. I know it's a lot to ask for, I suppose. I think it is a bit too much to ask for in her case. But maybe we could just not vote for her anymore. Maybe she could lose her next election. Wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be wonderful? And then she can go and be a live streamer like she's always wanted. She can go get a nice job on OAN, and they can put her in front of a camera, and she can talk about her feelings for an hour every day, and then she won't be making legislation. Hopefully, I mean, I do suspect that she would be less powerful on AON or OAN if than she is literally voting on legislation. So that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. What else we got? So yeah, they rejected that, dropping it down. All right. So this is all the Trump stuff. So that Trump guy, right? He's in some hot water. Uh, he's on trial. Today's Wednesday, so today is day 3 of his trial. He has. Uh, they're still choosing jury members, and he got in trouble as usual. Not surprising. Nobody was shocked by this, but he got in trouble. Let me see, make sure the screen's on there right so you can seize it. Right there. And ex-prosecutors. Trump already touched the third rail in the hush money trial, and it could cost him. Trump's outburst towards a prospective juror shows that he's learned nothing from the E. Jean Carroll case, experts say. Okay, so what did he do? It's not written very well, but here it is. He was, on Tuesday, he admonished Trump,
She
the
wouldn't be
judge.
on OAN's smaller audience than the American government.
Maybe, I don't know. Um, okay, so this is what Trump did. He audibly uttered something and gestured towards a prospective juror located about 12 feet from the former president at the time of the outburst. So this isn't, this doesn't sound damning, but what he did was he was mumbling and kind of gesturing towards one of the people in the jury to his lawyer. The judge, now that, okay, well, I mumble and point towards you, the audience, all the time. I can't actually see through this camera into your house, by the way. It's a mess. Clean it. What are you doing? Um, it's something they don't tell. Most streamers won't tell you. But I'm the most honest streamer you've ever met, and I can tell you, I can see inside your house through this thing. Okay, it's disgusting. Clean it. Anyway, I'm off topic now. I've gone crazy. Um, why is this important? He mumbled and he gestured towards her. So the judge took that as intimidation. The judge,
MUH privacy.
well, privacy, too bad. Sorry, boss. You don't get privacy if you're on Twitch. I won't tolerate
Hey,
that. The judge said, I will not have any jurors intimidated in this courtroom. I want to make that clear, crystal clear. The judge thinks that Trump was intimidating the jury. So that's all there is to the story. There's a thousand more words written about it, but that's basically what it is. He was vaguely looking at, gesturing towards somebody, and talking to his lawyer about this person over here who is a juror. The judge saw it and said, "Okay, you stop doing that. That is intimidation towards the jury." Trump doesn't know what that means. He doesn't know what the word intimidation for. Yeah, you have to become a tier 3 subscriber to get me stop looking into your house. Um, so the judge thought that that was intimidation. Not this isn't me saying it. This isn't me coming up with crazy crackpot theories. This isn't some reporter talking shit. The judge pointed at him and said, "Stop intimidating the jury." So the judge thought it was happening. This isn't a wild speculative idea. I mean, you can get wild speculation on every single bit of every single court case with him, every way from the certain people. But this was the judge who thought, "Hey, you shouldn't be doing that way. That is not acceptable. That's not good." You have, and he warned him. He said, "Don't be intimidating the jury," which some of the people have already been they're getting kicked they're getting out of jury duty by saying, yeah, of course I know who Trump is, and of course I can't be partial. But some of them are saying that they can. Uh, the Trump's lawyers are trying to get the most pro-Trump jury they can, and Trump's prosecutors are trying to get the most uh, uh, partial jury that they can. So it's kind of a toss-up. It's normal law stuff. The only thing abnormal uh, within this current trial is Trump himself. He is the abnormal bit. He's the abnormal person. He's the unusual bit. He's the thing that doesn't make much sense. So he's doing things that people don't usually do when they're on trial, like talking about the jury and looking at them and crying and complaining like he did last time or on Monday about how he can't go places, and of course you can't. You're on trial, dummy. That's the truth for all of us. But as usual, he's never had to face a consequence before, so he doesn't know what it's like. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh yeah, we can continue on with the good old Trumpy stuff. Um, yeah, I want to talk about this one. Get out of here, ads! I swear. Get, get, get. Thank you. Fucking ads, dude. Ad blockers don't do anything. They don't work. Even if you get one that does work some of the time, the other rest of the time, the website's going to say like, "Oh, yeah, we can't do this if you have an ad blocker." They have an ad blocker, and then I have to get an ad blocker, and then it's just an arms race for eternity, and it's of no real value. So I just don't deal with them. What are we talking about? Politics, yeah. Ex-Trump official says Trump is hiding extreme positions while campaigning. This is fun. This is good. Um, it can go a couple of different ways. William Wolf, a former senior White House official and self-described Christian nationalist, he calls himself a Christian nationalist, so it's not like he's hiding it, said Trump's policy agenda in a second term would be more radical. A former White House official and prominent fundamentalist Christian said Donald Trump is cloaking his actual radical beliefs on the campaign trail, and that a second Trump administration would see him govern in a more conservative and more aggressive fashion. That's what this guy thinks. He used to be a White House official, apparently. William Wolf, a self-described Christian nationalist, usually that means Nazi, who served under Trump as a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense at the Pentagon and as Director of Legislative Affairs at the State Department, made their remarks Thursday during a conversation on X Spaces, a live audio chat room on the platform formerly known as Twitter. Of course, he's on Twitter. Uh, I suggested he was a Nazi. Now here he is on Twitter. Wolf was among half a dozen panelists convened by editors at the Sentinel, the far-right
More
digital media
radical than the
outlet.
radical left.
More radical than the radical left, that's true. The far-right digital media outlet to discuss Trump's stance on abortion because they're unhappy with him. They're mad at him. They are mad at him on the far right about his recent abortion message because they do not like what he has said. They feel like he's lying to the normies, but really agrees with them. I think that's an important situation that we're about to read a little bit more of. The panelists were concerned that Trump had publicly criticized the Arizona Supreme Court's decision to uphold the 1864 law banning nearly all abortions in the state. They were also perturbed about Trump's claim that he would not support a federal abortion ban. Right-Wing Watch first reported. But Wolf argued that Trump, whose selections for the U.S. Supreme Court led to the 2022 overturning of Roe v. Wade, which had protected abortion rights in America, is hiding his actual position on many issues, including abortion. They believe, the Trump fans believe, that he is hiding his true ambitions. He is hiding his actual plans and opinions so that the normies will vote for him. And they love that. Dude, they love it. I can't imagine voting for someone who I secretly know what they're actually going to do and they say something else on TV. I would call that a lie. This guy doesn't mind the lie. He loves it. He thinks it's great. He's like, do more of that thing where you say one thing but actually believe the other thing. That's what he wants. He wants more of that, please. Please give him some more dishonesty. He wants more of it. And he needs more of it, or else he's never going to win an election again. All right, let's keep reading. So, this is a quote. I have to do it in a funny voice. I actually think there's wisdom in cloaking some of your power levels, and maybe some of the things are extreme position. I think Trump is one of the first Republican candidates I've ever seen in my life who has done that. Do you know who talks about cloaking their ambitions and hiding their power levels? Nazis do that. That's a thing they do. That is a thing that they talk about, and it's called hiding your power level. They honestly call it that. They go online, they become radicalized, they become Nazis, they love it, they like it, but they can't tell people that, so they have to hide it, they have to cloak it, they have to put on the mask. Can I make a mask? They're putting on the mask, and then they have to mask off. They're all waiting for that moment, that mask off moment, where they can all tear the masks off and be like, "Wah! We want Trump to do the lies." What? Why? How? Why is this a good idea to be with Trump in a second term? That regardless of what the rhetoric looks like during the campaign season, that he would actually govern in a more conservative and more aggressive fashion in the White House. So he wants Trump to lie to the people. That's something I think we need to be comfortable with, and maybe we should use lies. Okay, you should use lies. Okay, Mr. Wolf, great. Let's use some lies. Maybe even when some other conservative Republicans out there who want to run for office and gain power and use it to do radical, scary, conservative things should consider doing. So they should lie to the normies, pretend to be normal, pretend to be good, pretend to be right. Then, when they're in charge, they should say, hey, you know that centrist stuff we talked about? We're going to abandon that. We're just going to go radically scary conservative things. That's what we're going to do. That's what Mr. Wolf here is asking for, is lies to get elected, then using the power to do radically scary conservative things. This guy is a Nazi. He just is. The Trump campaign did not immediately respond to HuffPo's request for comment. Wolf has intimate knowledge of at least one person heavily involved in shaping Trump's potential second term. Russ Vought. Great. Okay. So
his radicalism is over 9,000. Check out Waldo's
it's
videos,
true.
https www.youtubecom at Waldo videos.
And let's look at it from the other direction. What if Mr. Wolf is wrong? What if he's incorrect? What if this is just a belief he has? He has a belief.
So it's about being so much of a nut job that you have to hide it from the regular voters.
Right. That's Mr. Wolf's situation. He is such a nut job that he has to hide it from regular voters. He does. He thinks that he either believes that Trump is in the same boat, or he believes incorrectly that Trump is in that same boat. That this guy is wrong. One sec, I gotta hit the F5 button over here. My Twitch chat has died. Good Lord. I am now unstable. It's true. Thanks for looking out, Twitch. I had 7 viewers too. It's a lot for me. Shut up. Now it's down to less than that. Sad. The one time I actually started, when I start cooking, the whole website melts down. This is because I'm too hot. I'm sure that's what it is. All right. Can you function for me, please, tonight? Thank you. Yeah, I'm blaming OBS for sure. Absolutely an OBS problem.
Chat lag is real.
Chat lag is real too. Damn it. Piece of junk. Why are you being crazy tonight? I was doing good tonight. I had so much to talk about. Anyway, what was I thinking? I've been derailed. So, there's a chance that...
Let him cook.
Let him cook, exactly. Come on, OBS, let me cook. So there's a chance that Mr. Wolf is wrong. Mr. Wolf could be believing a thing that isn't true. Beliefs can be wrong. I know that's shocking to Mr. Wolf. He wouldn't accept me saying so. And he would probably, his head might explode if I told him that his beliefs could be wrong. I'm not allowed to tell Americans that.
Moved over to kick Twitch was being weird.
Yeah, I know. Maybe it'll come back around. So you can't tell an American that their beliefs could be wrong. So possibly his beliefs are wrong. If they are, then that means we still have a problem, don't we? We still have Mr. Wolf, who's voting based on incorrect beliefs that he has. I don't think that's a good thing. But when he courts lies as his tool, he can't be upset that he's been lied to. He's lying all the time. He's putting his mask on. He's hiding his power level, and he thinks that Donald Trump is also. But what if Donald Trump isn't? Well, then did Wolf get lied to? Is he going to be upset about that? He probably will be upset that Trump lied to him, and he doesn't actually, or whoever told him he had that power level, it's not actually true. And this leads me back to the same problem that I always come to, and that is belief is the problem. If you're honest with people, and honesty is a core part of your message, you don't have to worry about beliefs. Unless somebody makes something up about you, which happens all the time with Republicans, but even that's their belief. Mayorkas, who I mentioned a moment ago, is being, well, or in the House, was brought up on impeachment charges for Marjorie Taylor Greene's beliefs. She doesn't have any evidence. She doesn't have any real reason to do what she did. She just believes that he's bad and he needs to be impeached. She doesn't know what the word impeach means. She doesn't quite understand what it's about, but she believes that it needs to be done. And belief and believers are the problem. That's where you get your problems. That is where you get your people who are anti-reality. They believe and have been told that there's power, strength, and wisdom in their beliefs. There's not. It's not there. Your beliefs can be wrong. Mr. Wolf, your beliefs are wrong. Is he going to do anything about that? No. What will he do if given that information? What happens if you throw that at him? Be like, hey, your belief is wrong. Well, he'd argue, he'd disagree, he'd debate you in the marketplace of ideas. But what he would eventually end up with is someone giving him evidence to suggest that his beliefs are wrong. Now, what does he do
I
with
think it's
that?
more she knows exactly what it means, but she's still going to use what she can to support her desires.
Yeah, she feels like yeah, the stunt gets her appreciation by her fans, so she will do it anyway. So, what does Mr. Wolf do when hit with a fact that disagrees with his beliefs? Well, he'll build a new one. He'll just create a new belief on top of it to fend off that fact. He'll he'll fend off the fact with a new belief. Okay, he'll just kind of poke at it and say that fact doesn't matter. That fact doesn't work because it came from a bad source. You can't trust that source. Pow! And he'll believe in his head. He'll believe that you can't trust that source. He'll create a new belief out of nowhere. This happens to me all the time when discussing politics online. They're like, "Oh, well, you can't cite CNN. You can't believe what they say on CNN." Well, why? Because you have a belief that they're crooked? Well, where did you get that belief? Oh, you invented that belief out of nowhere to hold your beliefs in the current shape that they're in. Because if the thing pops your entire belief bubble, you're without an identity. Your beliefs are shattered. So you'll build a new belief to stab at thee. And that's kind of the idea I've been flirting with lately, is the steps in which people take new information in and create beliefs and then regurgitate them out. I think the right is filled with believers. It really is. There are so many believers, and that's the vast majority of what's going on their side. Honestly, is belief and believers. They believe in low taxes, and they don't believe in gay marriage, and they don't believe in transgenderism, and they don't believe in this, and they believe in a strong military. They believe everything, and they don't believe in other things. When they use the word, they're using it wrong. They're using it wrong. Belief would suggest that there is no evidence, but the people you trust have told you the how it goes, and that's how it goes. I don't know that the chemical makeup of the rings of Saturn. I don't. But I believe the scientist when he tells me what it is. He's to be trusted. You know what I mean? Um, the scientist is to be trusted. He's done some research. He has shown me his degree in astronomy, not astrology, in astronomy, uh, and he has put forward a nice, well, he's put forward an idea and a theory, and even though he's never been there, he can show me the tools he used and the science and the steps he took to get to that point, to determine that they're made out of ice. Okay, great. Super. I believe you until new evidence comes along, and then I will believe someone else. That's that sounds to me like a healthy version of belief. What sounds like an unhealthy version of belief is what Maytag does every day. Really, honestly, what Mr. Wolf has done in this last story, where they really truly want something to be real, and then they construct mental barricades against the things proving it's not. Mr. Wolf really, really, really wants Donald Trump to be a out and out fascist Nazi. He does. That's what Wolf wants. That's what he wants from him. He wants him to be a secret Hitler. He wants him to be a secret Hitler. And if I showed Mr. Wolf evidence that Donald Trump isn't a secret Hitler, he would construct a belief. And that belief would be he's just wearing his mask, you see. It's a very good mask. He's wearing it. And he would deflate my uh, facts by smothering them. Well, maybe he wouldn't deflate them. Maybe he would smother them. He would smother all my facts with his own beliefs. And I think that's what happens a lot of the times in conservative circles on the right. They're smothering facts with their own beliefs. Right now, James Comer, and I think this will tie us into the next thing real quick. I think James Comer is still doing the Joe Biden impeachment. Doesn't have any evidence, doesn't have anything to stand on, and the facts keep getting smothered by his beliefs. So we can watch that next. There it is. Oops, I gotta scroll down to find it. Oh, I like her. We might see what she has to say. It's 1:49. So, right, we're gonna do
number
that.
2.
I know they're yelling. Ah, surprise. Okay. Webcam screen. Tell me how the audio is. If it's too loud, if it's too quiet, let me know, because I won't know. But here we go. Raskin, what is the crime that you want to impeach Joe Biden for? Tell America right now. Comer.
2, I would like my time restored. And number 3,
No, you
have not
time.
identified a single
order.
crime.
No.
Well, what is the crime that you want to impeach Joe Biden for and keep this nonsense going?
Well,
Why? What is the crime? Tell America right now.
You're about to find out.
What
very
is the
soon.
crime?
You're about to find out
Name
very
it.
soon. Chair
We
now
inhabit
recognizes
a
Mr.
propaganda
Biggs from
experiment.
Arizona.
Number 2.
You're about to find out very soon. They did not find out very soon. They did not find out at all. Spoilers, folks. They didn't find out at all. They never found out. It still hasn't been announced. He has been, James Comer has been given facts. And instead of taking those facts in, processing them, and coming to a conclusion, he has decided to smother those facts with belief. And that belief is that Joe Biden's a crook. I believe it. And he did all these things wrong, and we believe it. And the voters need to believe it too. So we're just going to smother it all with belief. That way, new facts can't get in. And if you say that those facts, if you use those facts to challenge the belief of a Republican right-wing person, they will scream bloody murder at you about not respecting their beliefs, because they've been told many, many, many times throughout their life in America that beliefs are important.
He starts quoting debunked hit pieces about Biden and gets called out for it.
Exactly. Those are the beliefs. The debunked fact. They made an accusation. The accusation wasn't true. They'll make the accusation again. Well, we've proven that wasn't true. He'll make the accusation again. And then we make a meme out of it and talk about how it's actually not true. And then they make the accusation again. They never stop making the accusations. That's all that matters. Accusations are all that matter. So how do you get to that point is you smother it in beliefs. And if you were to argue with a true believer about Joe Biden's criminality, they would spit those debunked pieces out. They would discuss how it is actually real. And if you disagree with them in a certain way, you will harm their belief. And that belief is tied directly to their identity. America has done such a bad job with belief and identity. I really think this is the crux of our entire political issue right now. Belief and identity. If you believe Joe Biden's a crook and factually proven not to be, it's an affront to you. It's an attack on you. It's an attack on your beliefs. It is a harm to your psyche. Belief is the problem. This is why I keep saying it. Don't have beliefs. Don't have any. If I believed that scientist, like I talked about earlier, about the rings of Saturn, and he gave me a bunch of evidence, and he showed me the device he used, and he said the rings of Saturn are mostly made out of ice, and I believed him. And then a newer, better scientist comes out later and disputes that and has better facts.
Smother and covered the wrong way.
Smothered, covered, yeah. And then that second scientist has better facts and a more logical stuff, and his tool seems better, and he's making fewer estimations, he's making fewer hypotheses, and he's actually bringing more facts. I would believe the second one, and it wouldn't harm me. Honestly. Remember when Pluto stopped being a planet? It was conservative people that were angry about it. Really was. I moved on. really quickly and easily. I was like, oh, it's not a planet. I wonder why. And then I looked into why. Well, because it's too small to be considered a planet, and there's 9,000 more of them that are about that size in that ring. So that's the real reason. That's the best reason. There are 9,000 more Plutos flying around out there, and we don't want to name them all. So it's not a planet.
Where's Thomas been ill? Take Tyler too. I want some right-leaning pov.
Well, let me finish this point, and then I'll talk about that. But it was the conservative, right-wing types of people who were upset because their belief that Pluto was a planet was part of their psyche. This actually harmed them. This hurt their brain. Once you said, hey, we've got new evidence, and that new evidence suggests that's not a planet. This hurts their brain because they are befuddled. They're not befuddled. They're all gummed up with belief inside their brains. They're just believers all day, every day. They got so many of them in there that any new information just harms some belief that's already in there. All information rewires your brain, all of it. Every new bit of information that you come across rewires your brain every single time. If I brought up a link right now to a story that you'd never seen before, you would see it through your eyes and your ears, or read it, I suppose, if you're watching on closed captions. But it would enter your brain. You would process it. You would have some feelings, which is fine, which is good, which is right. You're supposed to have feelings. I have feelings about everything. And then you would process those feelings. And maybe you would take action on it, or maybe you would change your political stance if you're not tied down to belief. You can update your brain. You cannot update your brain if you have too many beliefs. You just can't. If you have too many beliefs, you can't upgrade your brain. You can't get better. You can't get smarter, because that smarter will cause those beliefs to crumble. And if your beliefs crumble, who are you? Oh no. If you've built your entire identity and attached it to these beliefs, they crumble and you crumble. Similar thing to, now that I'm just thinking about it, same thing happened with Christopher Columbus. Columbus Day was taught to the baby boomers.
Reality cast psychic I super effective.
You're right. Reality cast psychic, and it was super effective. This happened with Columbus Day. The baby boomers were taught that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1942, and they believed this. They believed that Christopher Columbus discovered America. He was an awesome guy who was just the coolest cat ever. They were taught this in elementary school. They believed it. And in the late 90s, the country of Portugal let out a handful of historical documents from Columbus, and we found out that he was a terrible person. He was a slaver. He threatened to cut the hands off of people if they didn't bring him gold, and they didn't know what gold was. They didn't have any. And he was horrible to the indigenous people of the place that he landed in the New World. It was not really new. Those people already lived there, but he was bad to them. And this made him look like shit. That hurt the brains. It was reality casting psychic on these people, on the baby boomers, and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't handle it because they had beliefs, and those beliefs began to crumble around them, and they didn't know what to do. This was part of their identity. It was an attack on themselves. So it is a difficult thing to try and change people's minds. Mostly, that's difficult to do, mostly because it is so tightly entwined with your personality. If you can't separate your personality from your beliefs, you can never change your mind, and you can never grow. You can never be better, you can never be smarter, you can never be evolved, you can never move forward. Which is why, again, we get back to the same couple of arguments over and over and over again. They don't want to move forward. The Republican conservative baby boomer type wants to move backward to when Christopher Columbus was a good guy and Pluto was a planet. This would shore up and reaffirm all their beliefs inside their brain, and they would feel better. They would be less informed. They would be wrong about the state of reality, but they would feel better because reality tastes like shit, and bullshit is delicious. The reality is that Christopher Columbus is a slaving piece of shit, and Pluto's not a planet. But that tastes like shit. Doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste good at all. Nobody likes the flavor of that stuff. But Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1942, and Pluto's a planet is delicious, delicious bullshit. I could gobble that up all day long. It's tasty. Why would you? So it's almost like it's a little bit like medicine. Maybe medicine is the right metaphor for that. Maybe uh, reality tastes like medicine, uh, and and bullshit is delicious. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm flying off the seat of my pants here, making all this up as I go. All right. Do we have any more of this? Oh yeah, this lady is very cool. Let's hear what she has to say. It may be related to Jim Comer and all this fun stuff.
As we talk about rhetoric, something else that was appalling to me was this insinuation that when you look at the Ukrainians, which is why we're having problems getting the funding that Ukraine needs, is because people in this chamber push misinformation and disinformation. They want to talk about the Ukrainians got all of these Nazis. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
you
like
can find Nazis anywhere. You can find them right here in the United States. In fact, a bunch of the people that they're calling victims and prisoners of war, also known as convicted felons from January 6th. I have an article that I like to enter into the record by unanimous consent that says neo-Nazi January 6th rioter pleads guilty.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. So here's the point. We have people in this chamber that are actually causing just as much a threat, if not more of a threat, to our own country. We should be talking about holding our very own accountable for the misinformation and disinformation that they are spreading, whether it's coming out of China, whether it's coming out of Russia, or whoever is peddling it. It is a problem because right now what we see is that people are dying and we cannot get the support that we need from the public because they continue to peddle lies. And I'm tired of it because I didn't come to this chamber to play games. I came to this chamber to answer to the people, the American people, and to make sure that we keep the American people safe. And if we don't get something done, as they talk about the border, I do want to be clear, the only reason we haven't gotten funding for the border is because they killed, the House Republicans here, killed the bill that they actually sent us from the Senate side. If they want to do some work, let me tell you something. The Democrats are ready, and it seems like the Senate Republicans are ready too. They just need to get to it and stop peddling Putin's lies. Thank you, and I yield.
Damn. That was good. Her sass bleeds through the screen into my heart. That's right. She's great. That's Crockett. She's awesome. She's fantastic. And every time I see her on Twitter, I click on it. I'm like, oh, yeah, this will be good. She's right. She's talking about the Ukraine. I thought it was about the Hunter Biden stuff, but she was pretty good about the Hunter Biden stuff as well. So I'm glad somebody is there to talk sense and reason and logic and cut through horseshit, which I think she could do really well. So let's see. Let's close that. Oh yeah, I got one more thing to look at. Before we get on to video games, Michigan Democrats win special election to regain full control of state government. So, Michigan, filled with socialists. Michigan Democrats win special election. Let's see. So this is good. They won back a majority of the Michigan House and restored their party's full control of the state Senate. Tuesday, thanks to victories in 2 special elections. Lower chamber, flip chambers, House deadlock. And why is this important? Because of this very funny cartoon. So when Midwest Dems have a 1-seat majority, they get higher minimum wage, free school lunches, union rights, lower cost for healthcare, guaranteed paid paternity and maternity leave. But in California, New York Dems, with 3/4 of the legislature, small businesses are dying, crumbling infrastructure, corrupt police force, doing nothing about housing crisis. Sorry guys, not enough votes. I like this cartoon. It's funny. I think it's right on. Man, I really think it is. I think Canooch has died. That's sad. But I might be able to fix it. I'm not entirely sure. Let's go to the thing and hit this button, hit that button, hit this button, and then we hit the F5 and hope we don't die. Are you dead? Am I dead? I'm not dead. But let's see if the Lady Canooch can come back. She didn't come back. That's too bad. So I really wanted her to, because I was about to start a video game. So let's do the thing. Yes? The thing? I blame OBS for this one, honestly. Lots of stream jittery tonight, lots of bad chat, lots of slow chat, and now Canooch has died. I will have to go on a quest to revive her, but that quest is a long, arduous process. So what I think I'll do instead is, can we get Canooch over on the Kick chat? Probably not, but just checking. Nope, no Canooch there either. That's sad. I know what's happened. It's all the junk that's gone on. And I don't want to close the stream and bring it back up. So, and I don't want to play a video game without her. So, what are our options left? We are start a new stream in about 10 minutes to get Canooch back and play a game, or just call it off here. I think I'll call it off here. That's what I think I'll do. And today is Wednesday, so then I'll do a probably Thursday and a Friday stream. How about that? How about we do a Thursday during the day stream and a Friday during the day stream? And I might be out this weekend. I might not. I don't know. And I know it was only 1 hour tonight, but without the Lady Canooch, it's really hard to play video games. Because then I can't see what you're chatting, and it's not a good time. So, and I like having her voice there. So what I think I'll do is tomorrow during the day, around 10 or so, 10 or so, and OBS is still being a piece of shit. It's just not crashing quite as hard right now. So I've got to do some restarts. I've got to do some stuff. What I think I'll do is call it off here. We got through all the headlines. I've got stuff to turn into YouTube videos. And what I can do is turn those into YouTube videos that you can watch if you go to that YouTube link right there. You can watch these videos. They're great. When will Thomas be on next? Yeah, sorry about that. Melson, he said he would be gone most of April, is what he said. He didn't give me a specific date, but he said he would be gone most of April. And so it might not be until, it might be another couple of weeks, honestly. He is in someplace called Europe. Not sure if that is a real place, but I think it's outside of America, which means I don't pay attention to it at all. So he's in the Europe somewhere doing a thing, not to dox him. I mean, sorry, I doxed him. He's in Europe. So he's in Europe somewhere doing God knows what. He will be back within a couple of weeks, and then we can hit him with all of these burning political questions, like why would you keep doing that, and what, and why? He's in the land of socialism fighting for capitalism. Yeah, he's gone over there to punch some European-style socialists right in the face. He's bringing American freedom. He's doing the Helldivers thing. He fell. He got dropped. Pow. And then he hopped out of his pod and he went, freedom! And he started firing and killing all the socialist robots. That's what happened. That's where he is. And he will be back within a couple of weeks. It was only a month-long tour, but as soon as that's over, he'll be back and we can hit him with all the burning questions like, what? Why? What? Those questions like that. And the mythos. Yeah. Every time he's not here, I make up something else. And that is it for me tonight. I appreciate everybody who was here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you pressing the sub button, Malcidian. Thank you. Everybody who's watching, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, hit the button, hit the thumbs up, hit the follow, hit the like buttons, hit all the buttons. Just find a button and press it. It doesn't matter what button it is. Just press it. Press a button, any button. And that bumps my numbers up. The algorithm will know what you meant. The computers can read your mind. I can see through this camera into your house. They can read your mind. Just press a button, and it makes my algorithm numbers go up. I don't care which button it is. And I will be back tomorrow, probably like 10 in the morning or something like that. Yeah, I think I could do that. I could do a 10 a.m. stream tomorrow. That'll be fun. All right, that's it for me. Thanks. Goodbye.